Fuck yeah. Yeah, sometimes you got to start the post-game show a little bit differently, you know? They're not all created equal. They're not all the same. Sometimes you have to start the post-game show. If you have children that are watching this, yeah, just a heads up. Might throw a couple curse words in this one. Lakers over there. I don't have my title. I don't have anything. I threw a thumbnail up and I'm like, I'm just going to roll with this. So thank you for being here. I'll do the thumbnail with you guys. A little breather here. Out of breath. I threw 3 jabs. I'm already out of breath. Fuck yeah. That was awesome. That was phenomenal. That was great freaking basketball. And the Lakers deserved to win that game. So the only thing that would have happened there is they didn't get credit for winning that game in a game that they, I think, played phenomenal without Luka Doncic to come up with a victory. So let me add the score here so that we could all be on the same page. Lakers over Raptors. And I will start officially now the post-game show. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I could have made this thing perfect or I could have just went live. Let's just go live. It's all good. What a phenomenal game. What an incredible game. And I love what Billy Mack and Stu Lance were saying there towards the end. There's not going to be structure to this post-game show. I'm just going to do it and we'll roll with the punches from there. I loved what they said there at the end. Guys, LeBron James, his double-digit record of, I think, 1,297 or 1,000. I'm not even going to guess what it is. His streak that he's held forever, there was some poetic justice of him taking that final shot. And what did LeBron do in that possession? Austin Reaves, who absolutely dominated all night tonight, didn't take that last shot. He tried making the right play, gets the ball to LeBron James. LeBron, who's got that double-digit streak going on that I was giving shit about, other people were giving shit about. LeBron, why are you still worried about that stat padding in the game against Phoenix? Comes out in tonight's game with 8 points and a chance to move on and whatever, continue that streak going. Not that I'm dismissing what that streak is. Makes the extra pass, has 11 dimes tonight. And Rui Hachimura hits a corner 3. It's not LeBron that takes that shot. It's not Austin Reaves that takes that shot. It's Rui Hachimura because he was the wide open player and it was the right basketball play to make. Just an incredible game. A phenomenal game to watch. To be honest with you, what was going to be highly, highly disappointing in this game is if they didn't come out on top because they deserve to win this game. Guys, that was good basketball. That's a shorthanded Lakers team without Luka Doncic. That and let me put myself into this mix. If you guys listen to my show this morning, I didn't think the Lakers were winning this game against the Raptors. I did not like this matchup against the Raptors. Now, Jakob Poeltl didn't go. RJ Barrett didn't go. So once we kind of found out some of the different players were going to play, weren't going to play, it's like, okay, hey, maybe this is evening itself out a little bit. But ultimately, it was the Austin Reaves performance. I thought DeAndre Ayton was good when he needed to be. I thought Jake LaRavia had some minutes. Even Adu Thero had a couple of moments. I thought Nick Smith Jr. came in again and had another one of these games. You know, I think tonight defines a little bit more. Tonight is a better snapshot of who the Lakers have been all season long. It's not perfect. They got guys that are out, but they play hard and they fight. And Monday night, when we watched the Phoenix Suns just kind of run all over the Lakers and they never really caught their breath, and you got Devin Booker, who misses basically the entire game other than the first 10 minutes or so. 1,297 is the streak that's over. So I appreciate you. Obviously putting that in there and having me help me out with that stat there. This is more of what the Lakers are. They're a tough team. They're a gritty team. They're not perfect. They have some flaws. Sometimes they're too offensively focused. Sometimes they struggle from the three-point line. But what has made them the second best team in the Western Conference is they got wild talent at the top. They got other guys that kind of know their role and when to contribute. And they fight. And I think that this is why, for me, this game tonight against Toronto was just a perfect way to end the game. You got the stop that you needed on the other end, phenomenal defense on the other end. You had a cushion for most of the game, even though you never really felt overly comfortable, like, hey, this is going to be enough. A 6-point lead, is that going to be enough? No, it doesn't matter. It's a third quarter. It's the NBA. Teams go on runs and everything else. But to have it end the way it did, I really do think it's poetic to see that the way they won, because it was a true team win that rode the back of Austin Reaves for 48 minutes of play. And it's great that they were able to cash it in, because I could have easily been doing the post-game show tonight, and we could have been sitting here and we could have been talking about, oh my gosh, they were so close. Oh my gosh, they fought so hard. Oh my gosh, they got a second of a back-to-back against Boston tomorrow, and they probably lose that one. And if they do, they start this road trip out 0-2. Instead, we can give them a lot of credit because they deserve it. I think they would have deserved credit either way. But if you can't cash in a victory, it's really tough for any of us to, obviously enjoy a Lakers post-game show or to watch highlights and say, oh, well, they almost won. Well, we don't have to do that now. Now we could talk about the Lakers actually getting the W. And I don't know if you guys see that. Do you guys see that dude back there when the post-game show started? I've never seen hands quicker. I got to be honest with you. I've watched Floyd Mayweather and Evander Holyfield and Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. Did you guys see that dude back there? That guy was amazing. That guy was incredible. What a showcase. I'm very, very surprised that this is not behind a paywall and that wasn't pay-per-view, what you guys all just witnessed right there. Okay, I'm going to get into some of the comments here in just a little bit. And we'll kind of continue to go here in regards to our conversation. The one thing that I do want to do here real quick is I want to talk about Austin Reaves. So let's spend a little bit of time on Austin Reaves here for a quick second. Guys, this guy is freaking incredible. Austin Reaves is a phenomenal basketball player. Let's start first with Austin Reaves. I'll hit on some of the other players. We'll have a lot of time. We'll go as long as we want to go to in tonight's game. But holy shit. Did you guys see Austin Reaves' game tonight? And do you know who this was against? This is against a team that has got length. They got athletic players. They got young, athletic, potential all-stars in the NBA that are all over the place. They had an all-defensive player of the, I think it was all-defensive player of the month. They got good talent. And these are supposed to be the type of players that's supposed to make Austin Reaves' life a living hell, especially if Luka's not there. Here's Austin Reaves' line tonight. 41 minutes of play, 44 points, 13 of 21 from the field, 5 of 11 from the three-point line, got to the free throw line 15 times, always had pressure on the Toronto Raptors the entire game. And oh, by the way, 11 assists and 5 rebounds. You got 44 points representing the Lakers tonight. So offensively focused. I can hit mid-range shots. I could get to the basket. I can draw fouls. I can do it against the team that's starting to their entire defense is now dictated on me. Luka's not there to draw some interest away. Frankly, LeBron is not effective enough offensively to take guys away from Austin Reaves. And with all that, he drops 44 on them and still has 11 assists for the rest of the team. Do you guys know how impressive that is? I know there's a lot of people that are on this chat right now or are watching this live right now or are watching this a little bit later. But do you guys know how impressive it is to see that type of performance from Austin Reaves and to be doing this the way that he's doing it and to be doing it just kind of think of his storyline and listen, has there been chatter around Austin Reaves? It's all quieted down now. Nobody's really talking about Austin Reaves anymore from a trade perspective, but think about coming into this season. Think about the fit with Luka. All those questions are going to answer that. All those questions will answer themselves down the road. We'll get a chance to figure that stuff out a little bit later. And that's going to come. Hey, how's Austin Reaves going to do in the playoffs? How's this? How that? Okay, well, worry about that once you're in April. When you're in May. But how can you not watch Austin Reaves today and not be so thoroughly impressed with what he does on a night in, night out basis? Play it, I'm gonna have AJ on tonight here just to take a little listen to see if he says anything that's, out of the ordinary. Give me 2 seconds on this. Basically saying that the group of guys that he had on the floor didn't wanna call a timeout. He felt like, "I got the guys that I wanted." Uh, Trusted the players, trusted LeBron, trusted Austin Reaves, and then Rui gets a shot in the corner. So I think basically what he's saying on that final possession, to just sum it up here real quick, he was good with what he had. Why am I going to call timeout if I already got players that know what they're doing? Why am I going to call timeout if I have a bunch of guys in the lineup that understand certain defenses and what to do in certain situations? So to sum that up here real quick, that's basically what he was talking about. Was he's not too worried about the players that he had in there. So let me read some of the comments. Let's get to some of the comments. I think that will stack up some great topics here, and then we can go from there. So let's get a few of these in. By the way, like I said, there's a lot of other players that we can talk about, but damn, how are you not? If you're going to talk to somebody about this game tonight, how are you not sitting back and saying to yourself, how good is Austin Reaves? Tomorrow, if you're going to work and you're spending hey, did you see the Lakers game? This, that. If anybody's an NBA fan and they're out watching games and they're looking at a score, they're looking at the scoreboard and they're looking at, oh, okay, what teams won? You're like, Jesus, Lakers over the Raptors, buzzer beater. Reaves 44-11. Reaves is just unbelievable. He is truly, truly unbelievable. Somebody that's been able to so surpass anything remotely close of what you thought he was going to be able to accomplish in the NBA. Man's about to get paid too. He's about to get paid. LeBron is a real one for that pass. Could have gone for a shot, but made the game-winning play. I'm going to save this one because this deserves a lot longer of a conversation than me just to mention it here. So shout out for the 5. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super. But I'm going to wait on that one because we got I'm going to come back to that. I want to spend some real time on that. AR Cold. We needed this win versus a physical team. You know, the Lakers have yet to lose 2 games in a row yet this season. That's big time right there. And like I said, we could have been watching this game tonight and they could have easily have lost this game, and it would have been so disappointing because I thought they played good enough to win. And for them to get the credit, Austin Reaves obviously to carry the team, how they got that final shot off, you see the team's reaction. Go look at Austin Reaves' reaction, Jake LaRave. Look at Ayton's reaction. It's like they just won a playoff game. For how hard they battled. You got a second of a back-to-back tomorrow. You don't want to go to overtime for how much they all enjoyed it. That's a good little bond there between that team. That's some great chemistry there that can be built throughout a season. So yes, very, very impressive win. I appreciate the super. All right, let's get a couple in here. Guys, got a few people in here that have decided to become new members. I greatly appreciate that. I got a couple people that are gifting members. Welcome all. So if you're not a member and you'd like to consider it, don't feel any pressure at all. But you can hit that join button. We do one video a week for the members. I did one this morning. Always enjoy the members. It's a great way to support the channel. And you click that join button, you could become a member. So shout out to some of our new members that have worked their way in. So thank you for doing that. All right, a couple more comments here. Oh my God, now is the greatest teammate. Y'all are sick. Member for 7 months, John Wayne. All right, let's talk LeBron. Let's get into LeBron here because I think people want to talk about him, and let's spend a little bit of time on it. Okay, so let's kind of break down LeBron's game tonight. Let's break down his game. LeBron still looks, from obviously a lot better than he looked against the Phoenix Suns, but LeBron's moving is not good. His shooting doesn't look comfortable. His legs look shot. 11 assists, 11 dimes, and then made that, obviously, that incredible pass in the corner to Rui Hachimura, and the Lakers won. Longest streak of 10-plus points. His record ends at 1,297 straight games where he had 10-plus points. It went from January 6th, 2007 to December 4th, 2025. And the reason why I know this is because I got Spectrum on in the background, and they're airing it. Jordan did it. It was 866 games. Kareem did it as well. I'm going to listen here real quick, just a little bit of LeBron. Let's hear what he's got to say. I'll tell you guys what he's saying as we go here. But let me just grab this here real quick. LeBron says, just playing the game the right way. That's how I was taught the game. It's how I played my entire career. I never second-guessed it. Said as a numbers game, we got a 4-on-3 advantage. Once they blitzed AR, got it to me, and it was a no-brainer to throw it to Rui Hachimura. Phenomenal play by LeBron. Phenomenal play by Austin Reaves. I'll tell you about LeBron's night. LeBron, I'm dying here. LeBron doesn't look like LeBron. He doesn't. He doesn't look like the way LeBron James we've all been accustomed to watching LeBron on a night in, night out basis. He doesn't look like that guy. Certainly hasn't looked like that in the last couple of games. 8.6 rebounds and 11 assists for LeBron. So we'll see as the season progresses. He is 40. He is about to turn 41. I think in a weird way, it's kind of nice to get this double-figure streak done out of the way. What he was able to accomplish, nobody will ever break that again. So in a way, it's kind of nice to get that out of the way. Lakers don't win this game without LeBron. They don't. By the way, they also don't win this game. Keep Reaves out of the conversation because we know what Reaves was able to do tonight. They also don't win this game without Ayton. They also don't win this game without Jake LaRavia. I don't think they win this game without Nick Smith Jr. So LeBron was basically one of the role players for the Lakers and did everything he can to try to help the team win. And by playing team ball, they got the W. Was he bad from the field? He was. He was 4 of 17 from the field. But I don't know what the vibe is on the LeBron in the chat. I hope people are just sitting back and saying, hey, Lakers won this game, and LeBron had a piece of how the Lakers won this game. If you're bitching about LeBron, I don't really care. Unless you're talking about, hey, Al, good win. They found a way to win this game. But hey, LeBron's been concerning me the last couple of games. That one, I'm on your side on that one. We can have a fair conversation about that. But if you're, if the angle is different, then you're probably on your own on that. I'll still read the comments. I'll still take a look. But that last play that was drawn up was good basketball. And that's all that matters. And if you're a Laker fan out there, the only thing you should really care about is, did they win the game on the road without Luka or not? And the answer is they won. So really, really impressive win for all of those reasons. I think you could look at LeBron's night and you could say, struggled on the field, still obviously looks like his legs are heavy, still tough to get around. Certainly he's going to try to be strategic every chance that he can. And I think your expectations for a 40, 41-year-old, we got to get up to speed here, because I think what you're accustomed to seeing with LeBron, we may not be seeing those days very often anymore. But even in a night where he struggles, he had 11 dimes and made the biggest assist of the night to get Rui Hachimura that 3. All right, let's take a look at some more of the comments here. See what everybody's got to say. They won versus the second best team in the West, better than Celtics and Hawks, second best team in the East, better than Celtics and Hawks and Magic. I don't think Toronto is the second. By record, they're the second best team, But I still think, the Knicks, the Cavaliers, probably some other teams that are better than them, but I don't care. This is a tough game in Toronto. It's a tough game. Athletic team. And listen, I've already called myself out to start the postgame show. I didn't feel good about this game. So, I'm going to be very honest about that as well. But that was fun. Let's get another one here. LeBron wanted to win more than keep the streak. Great basketball play. That's what I loved about it. Like at the end of the day, on Monday, if you guys remember listening to the post-game show, we spent some time on this. There are times where a streak continues, or Dylan Brooks was trying to get a career high, 3 minutes left to play, and nobody's left in for the Lakers. Like, there's certain things, all right, who cares? LeBron's trying to hit a 3 at the end because he had 7 points to keep that going, but Lakers are down 20. Who cares? This was, the streak is on the line. Yeah, F the streak. We're trying to get a W here. By the way, the team is 16-5. Like, that's another thing to pay attention to. It's not just, if my team sucks and we have nothing to play for, maybe I'm more worried about stat padding or something along those lines. Lakers have a really, really good record. They just finished 25% through the season, and they got the second best record in the Western Conference because nobody's going to pass the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, is the Western Conference clogged? Sure. You got Houston there, Denver there, San Antonio there, and the Lakers there. Big time win. LeBron played like Draymond in a sense, in a way, right? Draymond will never be the offensive player that LeBron is, but Draymond obviously quarterbacks things and kind of understands where to put guys in certain positions and everything else. Okay, I got to get into some other players because I do think there were some other players to highlight here real quick. Let's talk about RUI here real quick. So RUI hits the game winner. It's so fun to see their reaction. These guys are going crazy with the reaction. They had a couple other things here. Man, I went so fast of starting the post-game show. What did Reaves have? I said 44 points and 11 assists. I went so fast, I didn't even get a chance to fully properly set up. I was like, all right, F it. I'm just going. Rui Hachimura with a game winner. So Rui tonight, 12 points, 4 of 9 from the field. They needed everybody tonight. I'm going to kind of lump in a few of these different role players. I mentioned to you guys, they need Rui. I mentioned they need Ayton. I mentioned they need Jake LaRavia. They needed all these players. When you don't have a guy like Luka Doncic, you better get help from a ton of different people. And they were able to get that. So, yes, Austin Reaves did everything, but Rui obviously got the shot in the corner, ended up with 12 points. I thought Ayton had a very effective night. Ayton's got such nice touch around the basket. He's got such nice touch around the basket. 8 of 11 from the field, had 8 rebounds, 17 points for him as well. I thought Ayton gave the Lakers good minutes. And then shout out, we don't get to say this very often, shout out to the Lakers bench. Jake LaRavia, I thought it was so nice to see LaRavia play a good game. I in a weird way, I almost feel for Jake because you want this guy to perform. And tonight, it looked more of a natural game for Jake LaRavia. What the Lakers are going to have to figure out when Luka's there, Luka gets so much attention. He's got the ball in his hand so often. They're either going to have to figure out how to get that ball moving more, or they're going to have to just make sure guys are constantly moving when Luka has the ball. Tonight, it felt like Jake LaRavia wasn't standing around. It didn't feel like there was less ball watching than I think there typically is with Luka. You know what happens sometimes with great players like Luka Doncic? Everybody starts watching the ball. Nobody starts doing anything. All of a sudden, the natural way of playing basketball goes away. It goes out the door. It's like guys forgot how to play. I thought tonight players like Jake LaRavia were moving around. I thought players like Nick Smith Jr. were, I'm going to get to Nick Smith Jr. in a second. They were trying to make things happen, ignite things. I think Austin Reaves, as potent as an offensive player as he is, and the guy obviously takes a lot of shots, he gets to the free throw line. I think he also has a natural tendency, let me get the ball out of my hands. I think guys feed off of that. They're going to have to adjust a little bit with Luka because Luka's style is, I got the ball. I'm the president and CEO. Okay. I'll let you know when you can talk. But at least if the ball's not moving as much, their movement has to be there. So shout out to Jake LaRavia. I thought he had some big-time rebounds, had some big-time steals, had a big-time block. It was good to see him play. He goes 14-7, 2 steals, and 2 block shots. And then the other player that I'll lob into the mix here, guys, I'd like to make a case for Nick Smith Jr. to get more playing time. I know he's only getting playing time in certain circumstances when Lakers are one ball handler less, but the guy can kind of make some stuff happen. Can get buckets when he needs to. I think is a decent defender. You know, kind of a more on-ball, pesky defender that the Lakers don't have. He had a couple steals tonight. When Nick Smith Jr.'s name has been called, he's answered. So getting a chance to kind of see him take advantage of his opportunities time after time again, at least, you know, in this short sample size, that's freaking impressive. It's really, really impressive. So that at least rounds up some of the other role players as well. And I think for a lot of people that are sitting here and they're in the chat, this wasn't, as much as I want to talk about Austin Reaves and give him all the praise, Lakers don't win without LaRavia, without LeBron, without Ayton, without Rui Hachimura, without Nick Smith Jr. I don't think Gabe had all that good of a game. I don't think Connect, you know, anything, you know, crazy from a couple of the players that were out there. But for the most part, most of the guys that were out there, Hayes did kind of what he does, the 4 points, the 4 rebounds, 3 block shots for Jackson Hayes. So I should be giving him a little bit more credit. Adu Thero had a nice, beautiful play to get a bucket in the first half. I think it was in the first half. I think it was relatively early. So you had a lot of guys contribute to a team win right there. 16-5 are the Lakers. 16-5. Keep that in mind. All right, something else to keep in mind. Let's give a shout out here to one of our partners. Shout out to Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm. Thank you for their partnership on the channel. Big Laker fan, by the way. Thank you for his continued loyalty towards different things that I've done in my career, and him continuing to say, you know what, Al, I like what you do. I like your style. I like your business. Let's work together. If you ever need an injury attorney, I hope you guys never do. Serious injury, wrongful death case. The website is wallacewins.com/Sliwa. That's it. I mean, there really is no more to this. He can help anybody in the state of California. Again, I hope you don't ever need him. But if something comes up in life and you're saying to yourself, oh my gosh, where the hell do I go? I see all these billboards everywhere in Southern California. I can tell you firsthand, somebody that I trust, that I've known for a while, 6 years working with him. And here he is joining me on YouTube as well. So shout out to Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm. wallacewins.com/Sliwa. I can also make a personal introduction if anyone would like a personal introduction. All right, let's keep moving here. Oh, man, a lot going on. It was a pretty exciting game. I think we needed that. Lakers get one loss to the Phoenix Suns. All of a sudden, everybody's in like depression mode. What happened to everybody? They get one win and everybody hallucinates again. But that was just a fun game. There were moments. There was just enough of a cushion for the Lakers. And listen, the game started at 4:30, so I'm sure there's a lot of people like, what the hell happened? I just got home from work, or I just had dinner, or whatever the case is. But there were a lot of moments during the game where I'm like, all right, they had an early 8-9 point lead, and you almost felt like they have to keep this between 5 and 8 point advantage. And if Toronto ever gets to a point where they go up 4 or 6 points and they go up 4 or 6 late, I think the Lakers are in trouble. By the way, they're showing some highlights here, and this is the block. Who had it? I think it was Jake LaRavia on a fast break. Got a really nice block to keep the Raptors at only up 2 rather than up 4. But there was a point where you're saying to yourself, if the Raptors go up 4, I'm worried that I don't think the Lakers are going to be able to come back in this game. And they went up 3 with about 5 minutes left to go, and Lakers just kept fighting. But there were definitely some moments where you're like, these guys are probably tired. Austin Reaves has been carrying the entire, team. He's going to need some help. Some guys hit some big shots, and then obviously they got a couple of big defensive plays late to get them the win. I'm seeing here as they're showing the highlights. I just want to see one thing. I want to see what the lead was for Toronto late. I know BI got that offensive foul. Lakers at that point, I think, were maybe up a point. They missed some opportunities. Lakers did, but they still found a way to win at the end. Yeah, this was BI. Yeah, Ayton got a foul towards the end of the game with about 2:40 to go, and Lakers were then down 2. Got an and 1, but then LeBron got the tough left-hand scoop to tie it at 118, and then it kind of just went back and forth there. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments here. All right, I got to get to all the supers here. LeBron is a real one for that pass. Could have got the shot. I think we all agree that was the play of the game for multiple reasons. It wasn't just Rui hitting the shot. Part of this had to do with LeBron making that extra pass and sitting at the 8 points. The other part had to do with Austin Reaves with 44 points, getting rid of the ball. So I think there was a shout out to a lot of these players to make the right pass. And obviously the final one was Rui with the shot over BI. Thank you for the super, brother. All right, I read that one a little bit earlier. These 40-plus games will get Reaves paid that 40 to 50 million. Reaves about to get paid. Tony, thank you for being a member for the last 9 months. He's about to get paid, and frankly, the guy deserves it. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. My plan is tomorrow morning to have Bobby Marks on the show, front office insider for ESPN. And this was before this game. But now that we're coming off of this game, it's going to be great to ask him about some of the different scenarios that can play out with the Lakers, what Austin Reaves' number will be in the open market, what happens to Giannis, all that stuff. So we'll be able to hit on that Giannis stuff as well. He'll be a good person to ask. Let's get some more in here. We are 7-0 in crunch time games this year. They also got clutch players. Luka's a clutch player. Austin Reaves is a clutch player. So I think part of the benefit of that, and maybe some of the reason. Now, listen, that number is absurd. You know, eventually those numbers will start to even out, but that's an absurd number right there. 7-0 in crunch time games this year. Let me think of some of the close games. Let me actually look back here. I'm curious. I know they got the buzzer beater against Minnesota. That was one of them. This one, that's 2. Just trying to think off the top of my head. Oh, they got that win against Utah by 2. There's another close game that the Lakers won. Let's see what other ones off the top of my head. They beat San Antonio in a close one. That's 4. I know they had one early against Sacramento. Memphis, they beat by 5. So there's 5-6 right there. All the close games are going the Lakers' way. That's what happens when you got very, very talented players. Brother, I appreciate the super. A 20 spot right there. LeBron, Raymond, James. Respect. I like how a lot of people are giving love to LeBron making that extra pass. Remember when they used to say, and this is something that used to happen all the time. You guys remember this? They used to always say with LeBron, and LeBron would always say, this is the difference between LeBron and Kobe. This is the difference between Magic and Jordan. You know what the difference is? Jordan's like, how many defenders you want to throw my way? Cool, I'll take that shot over 2 guys. Kobe's like, cool, why don't you bring that guy from the baseline, the other guy coming from the other side? I'll just fade further back and shoot over more hands, that 18-footer. LeBron and Magic, it's like, all right, I make the right play. I make the right play. Not that they are shy of taking the last shot. This is in my DNA, just like it's in the DNA of some of those other players to take that shot. It's just a style thing. Not every player is the same. So I think that's probably the best way to put it. Thank you again for the 20 spot, brother. Thank you again. I appreciate that. Reaves was dominant in that third quarter. What do you have in that third? 18 maybe? Something like that? I think he had 18 in the third quarter. Dominant. Getting to the basket and ones, get to the free throw line, draw fouls, hit threes, take threes from 27 feet out. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right, let's get some more in here. Thank you very much for the super, brother. All of you guys. By the way, whether you're sending in a super, you're not, whether you joined as a member or you're not a member, I appreciate you all watching and getting the reaction of the game. So thank you very much for doing that. Braun ending his streak on a pass for the game winner. That's a leader and a vet. Also, Rui needed that. He did need that. It's a big-time shot by Rui, by the way. But, I was making the case earlier in the week. You guys remember on Monday when I said Lakers can't trade Rui, and then Monday night Rui had 0 points? I'm like, Rui, that's great timing, brother. I appreciate that. Rui's been good for them this year. It's a big-time bucket from Rui, and yes, of course, Braun making that extra pass. By the way, again, I'm going to go back to this. It's poetic that Braun's streak ends at 8 points. A shot to win it at the end. And what does Braun do? He does what's in his DNA. I make the right pass. All right, let's keep going here. Helen, thank you for the super. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's get another one here. What were you saying earlier? Yes, sir. W. Yeah, listen, I'll take an L on this one. I thought tonight was going to be really tough. I really did. Now, for a little context here, Jakob Poeltl, RJ Barrett, actually, until Sammy was on this morning and he's doing the preview, I'm like, okay, I knew Poeltl was out. I didn't know RJ Barrett was out. But it doesn't matter. I mean, this was still going to be a tough game. You're on the road. Toronto's playing some good basketball, second best record in the Eastern Conference. And you don't have Luka. You don't have Luka. All right, let's get a couple more in these here. Shout out. Thank you very much, brother. I'm going to listen to a little bit of Reaves in the beginning. I'm just going to tell you guys his first answer, and then we'll go from there. But I just want a little context on Reaves. Talking about that final shot. Reaves is saying, Reaves said he's throwing himself under the bus. All right, very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, Reeves says he gets the rebound. He starts going down on the other floor. This is in the final possession. He said, I'm going to throw myself under the bus. I thought we were down 1. So he said, LeBron said, as they were walking it up, final shot, get the final shot. And I guess apparently as he's saying that, he's like, why would we get the final shot? We're down by 1. He looks up at the scoreboard and realizes that it's a tie game. And then he goes into whatever action there. They react from there. So Austin Reaves kind of throws himself under the bus on that one. That's pretty funny, actually. It's pretty funny. Imagine that's how we lost the game. All right, let's get another one in here. OKC Lakers will meet in Western Conference Final, and winner wins title. Long way to go, brother. Long way to go. There's some very, very good, talented teams in the Western Conference. San Antonio is good. Denver, I think, is the second best team in the West. They got so much depth. Houston's got a really good team and plays phenomenal defense. So we got a long way to go, but to be having that conversation early, I still think that's why I think the Lakers got to be aggressive at that deadline and give up some assets to go get what they're looking for. Look, they're not going to get Giannis. Like that ain't happening. I just don't, unless Giannis changes his mind and starts demanding to come to the Lakers. Or maybe the Milwaukee Bucks are looking at Austin Reaves and saying, hey, you know what? We want this guy on our team. Great win, Slee. Love the F-bombs. Yeah, my apologies to those out there. I've had somebody tell me, Al, sometimes I listen to this with my kids. Can you relax on some of the cursing? I'm like, look, sometimes it just naturally comes out. There's nothing I could do. Let's get another one in here. By the way, thank you again for all the supers. I'm gonna start paying attention to some of the other ones out there as well. LeBron is 8 points. Talk about AR 15, 44 points. All right. Then LeBron is cheeks. It's a pretty funny term when people say that, by the way. It's a pretty funny term. Adu Thero finally got some minutes. That's an interesting one. You didn't think they'd get Luke either. That's true. There was a couple, what was it? A couple articles talking about all of them that had kind of like, hey, it's going to be really tough for the Lakers to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then they'd be like, but they got Luka. So I'm like, all right, yeah, there's nobody can sit here now and say anything about that. They did get Luka. Houston and Spurs, then OKC. All right, let's get some more in here. Man, I'm glad LeBron got the game-winning assist, but he has not been the same since he's been back. I'm with you on that. You're right about that. By the way, both things could be right. He had 11 assists today. His shot struggled. He looks 40 years old. I agree with all that. I've never seen LeBron like this. You know, and I've had how many different, times now that I've mentioned it, it's like no one's really accustomed to seeing LeBron like this. He looks slow. He looks 40 years old. Looks like he's about to turn 41. But that doesn't mean we still can't give him credit for the 11 assists tonight. Doesn't mean you can't give him credit for that final shot or that final pass to Rui. Both can be true. But I don't agree. I don't disagree with that. We're still not ready for OKC. Nobody is. Absolutely nobody is. 16-5. The question really with, everybody else in the NBA is how they're trying to chase the Oklahoma City Thunder and to what extent are they going to chase them? Because some teams may say, we're not chasing anything. Other teams may say, we're going all in right now. So that's going to be the bigger question. The problem with OKC is it's not going to get any easier against OKC as they get more experienced and probably get more draft assets and do whatever they do. Okay, got a couple things I'm going to do here before we eventually get out of here today. There are some scores around the NBA that I'm just going to jump to real quick, and then Lakers got a game coming up tomorrow against the Boston Celtics. So here are some of the other games. Sixers beat the Warriors by 99-98. Lakers got the Celtics tomorrow. They put up 145 points in Washington. Frankly, I think any of us can put up 110 against Washington. Celtics put up 146 points tonight. So they'll be on a second of a back-to-back tomorrow. They'll be traveling from D.C. back to Boston. Lakers obviously will be going from Toronto down to Boston. So something to keep in mind in regards to that. Timberwolves got another win. Minnesota's starting to play some better ball, but they beat the Pelicans. Jazz got a win over the Nets. So Celtics tomorrow, something to keep in mind in that game. By the way, that one is going to be 4 p.m. is tip-off tomorrow. So really early tip-off tomorrow. Today's game was at 4:30. Tomorrow's game is at 4 o'clock. That game's on Prime Video. Not sure if Spectrum's carrying it. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. I'm not 100% sure. But something to keep in mind in regards to the Celtics for tomorrow, a couple of things. Number one, Jaylen Brown is an absolute stud, averaging 29 a game, plus 6 rebounds, plus 5 assists. Peyton Pritchard is a really good player. Derek White, Anthony Simons. They got some guys. And it's not the same Celtics team that you're accustomed to, but here's what they are. They play hard and they're well coached. So shouldn't be too big of a surprise that the Celtics are right in the thick of things, that they continue to play good basketball, that, that they're very well coached and well ran. That's just the reality of it. Boston at 13-9, they're 5th place in the Eastern Conference. So something to keep in mind there. And then the Lakers with that win tonight, they're 2nd in the West at 16-5. So Celtics, Lakers tomorrow coming up at 4 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to get through a few more of these comments, and then we're going to call it a day. A couple of quick reminders. Sammy, who was on the show this morning, shout out to Sammy for coming on. He's going to be doing his preview video for the Lakers and the Celtics. I'm sure he'll react to this game a little bit as well. So please make sure to watch that. He'll probably post that up here, I'd say, in the next couple of hours or so. And then I got my show tomorrow morning coming up at 8 a.m. So just a quick reminder there. We'll still have our regular show tomorrow starting at 8 a.m. And the plan for right now is looks like we're going to have Bobby Marks join the show tomorrow morning. So hopefully we're able to come through on that one. Okay. Final couple of comments here. We're going to get out of here. One more quick shout out. Anybody that just became a new member today, thank you. Thank you for being a new member. So shout out. I'm highlighting all these as we sit here. If you're getting this on the app, on the iHeartRadio app, You obviously can't see the names, but shout out to our new members here. Phenomenal stuff, and I really appreciate all you guys coming on here and being new members. All right. Austin is the leading scorer of his draft class in what he wasn't drafted. What do they got this stat here? He had a game October 26th against the Sacramento Kings where he had 51 points. A game against the Trailblazers the next night, he had 41. And then against the Raptors tonight, he had 44. 22 in the third quarter, not 18. My bad on that one. 22 in that third quarter. What I'd wish they'd also put up here is his assists. His assists is real deal. That's phenomenal for him to get those assists. All right, let's see what else we got here. Giannis for AR package, yes or no? I think the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be looking for something different. That's what I think. So we'll see what happens. I guarantee you they aren't renewing James' contract. I'd bet the farm on it. I agree with you on that. Yeah, no, this is, I think most people understand that this is probably it. I think that one's fit, safe to say that this one is, this is, if it's not a restructured deal for a lot less, I think, we could be looking at the final year with LeBron and a Laker. And this is how it should be, by the way. They shouldn't have given him an extension, and let's play out this year, and then we'll see what happens. But I think that's fair for both sides. I mean, you really think it would have been smart to give him another 50 or 52 and guarantee him another year? I don't think that would have been smart, and I think most people don't. Let's see what we got here. Jaylen Brown owns Luka. We don't know, by the way, if Luka's playing tomorrow. We don't know if he's going to be playing tomorrow. So, hate Jaylen Brown. Can we get wins versus Boston? Fudge Boston. You can hate Jaylen Brown, but he's a damn good player. All right. I hope Braun doesn't have his legs yet. He'll be all right by the end of the month. He's still contributing offensively. 11 assists tonight. I mean, look, the 11 assists, that's phenomenal. But I think it's also safe to say he's not looked like LeBron at all. At all. All right. I think we're all done. I think we are all done. Rui said post-game Luka won't be there. Okay. Well, if that's what Rui said, then okay. Then I got a couple people here saying Luka's out. So expect tomorrow against the Celtics, no Luka Doncic. So expect that tomorrow, and hopefully the Lakers are able to get him back against Philly. I had said this earlier, and we'll see what happens tomorrow, but I really thought if they go 2-1 on this road trip, I thought it was a good road trip. So they already got one under their belt. We'll see what else they're able to do the rest of the way. But a really good win for the Lakers, 123-100, the final score. Rui Hachimura hits a buzzer beater that wins the Lakers the game. LeBron with 11 dimes. Austin Reaves with 44 points and 10 assists. Nick Smith Jr., Jake LaRavia, DeAndre, and a lot of players contribute. So a great win for the Lakers. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you for all being a part of the show. Fun post-game show to do tonight. They're not always like this, so we appreciate them when they come. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I'll be doing my show at 8 a.m. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. I'll see you in the morning.